All right, ladies and gentlemen. Hello. What is going on, everyone? Good morning and welcome to my first of two gameplay streams for today. And welcome to the beginning of something special. Ladies and gentlemen, a very special event today. That is right. Because, ladies and gentlemen, today I start my 10th anniversary run in Mass Effect 2. It's going to be very exciting. I hope that you guys are excited for it. Something that, number one, I've wanted to do for years. Like, literally wanted to go back to this game over the years, knowing that it was, in my opinion, the best Mass Effect game in the entire series. And for whatever reason, whether it was other games beat it in polls or time constraints or whatever, I just never really got around to it. Being that this year, 2020, has had an incredibly slow start for gaming. Very few high-profile games released at all. A few indies sprinkled in here and there, but outside of that, there's been basically no big new releases coming out. I felt that this was the time and my opportunity to finally jump on a playthrough of this game. Long in the making and long in the anticipation. I've been waiting to do this for so long. Now, in particular, this is pretty cool, and the reason being is because it's the 10th anniversary of Mass Effect 2. You may not even realize that. It was 10 years ago right now that people were playing this game. It came out in very late January of 2010. And what a different time that was, let me tell you guys. For me, my life was completely different. I was living in a small condo in Connecticut by myself. I was single. I was working an office job that I was essentially busting my ass at, going over and above the Call of Duty of what they were requiring me to do as supposedly a customer service rep. They were having me do high-level continuous improvement work, completely redesigning their processes inside this business from start to finish to become more efficient, but they were paying me money like I was a line-level customer service guy on a phone. Okay? How nice. Promising me the world and not delivering. They're saying, oh, yeah, just do all this. It'll pay off. You'll get promoted and all this. Yeah, right. So as I was doing this job, what I would do is I would come home every day and I would play games for a couple of hours and I would record these games for a couple of hours and upload them to YouTube. So back then, this was just, a side hobby that I could only do for a couple hours a day. At the time, I had started uploading videos in late 2008, as just a mess around thing. It wasn't anything that I was taking seriously at all. And over the course of late 2008 and all of 2009, basically my channel got viral popularity on YouTube. Some of the playthroughs that I had done ended up exploding in popularity. Remember my Spider-Man Web of Shadows playthrough had a video with 1 million views on it at the time. It was absolutely insane. The amount that people wanted to see my content. So I was one of the very few people at that time who would do what was called unscripted, unedited, raw commentary over game playthroughs. I called them game playthroughs. Other people called them let's plays and the like. I always called them game playthroughs, okay? I didn't personally like the term let's play. I liked it like I'm playing through a game. It's not a walkthrough. Walkthrough means I'm guiding you and giving you tips, right? It's a playthrough where I'm just doing an honest to God, unedited, first time playthrough. That's what I called my content back then, okay? Now back then I didn't live stream and I didn't direct capture. I just had a digital camera that I pointed at my television and recorded. Obviously very different than what I do today. And it was cool because basically on the fly, I could immediately just jump right into any game, start recording, mess around, It was a little different. Obviously, I had to adjust the camera constantly because the camera had a lot of light balance issues doing it that way. Obviously, the audio sounded way different and the visual quality was way lower. But it was pretty cool because it was basically the ultimate casual thing. It was a fun hobby that I would just do for a couple hours a night. upload the videos to YouTube, and get crazy popularity doing this, okay? In particular, I remember with the Mass Effect 2 playthrough, this was a game that I was looking forward to so much because Mass Effect 1 had been one of the games during the time frame when I was transitioning from kind of being a professional Street Fighter player to getting back into mainstream gaming for a long time. I would say probably from around the year 2000 all the way through like the year 2007, maybe early 2008. I had avoided console gaming because I was so heavily into Street Fighter and traveling to play competitive Street Fighter. And that was kind of my hobby and my focus for that 7 to 8 years of my life. Then, when I was diagnosed with a serious back injury, I realized I wasn't going to be able to travel and do the grueling lifestyle of being a pro Street Fighter player anymore. And I decided I was going to try to get back into console gaming for myself. And so I did. And Mass Effect was one of the games that I played that completely and utterly blew me away. I was like, dude, the story is amazing, right? The characters are great. The gameplay is robust. I love the dialogue tree choices. Like everything about this game was right up my alley. And so I waited, for a couple of years there waiting for when's Mass Effect 2 coming out. And when it finally came out, it was so hype. I remember I pre-ordered it, and it came with a bunch of pre-order DLCs, and I bought the deluxe edition that came with more DLC. And I remember the collector's edition had this cool art book that it came with and everything. I actually remember getting it on release night at midnight and unboxing everything and doing it. I think I did an unboxing video. I think I was doing them at that point. And then immediately just started recording and jumping into the game. Of course, keep in mind that back then, I still had to work. So it wasn't like I could play it as much as I wanted to at launch. It wasn't like today where within 2-3 days of launch, I could play a game, anywhere like 12, 14 hours or whatever. It wasn't like that back then. It was, man, I got to take my time and enjoy it when I can because I know that I have to work, but I'll come back to it when I get a chance, And this game in particular, Mass Effect 2, at that point, was one of the longest games I had ever played for YouTube. Most of the games back then, 10 years ago, you're talking you would spend $60 and you get a game that was anywhere from like 5 to 10 hours long tops. And then you get a game like this where it was like 40 plus hours of content, robust side missions for each character, all this fun stuff to do. It was just so different than the other stuff that I was playing at the time. It really blew me away. It did. It was definitely one of my favorite games of that time period and of all time. I would say, definitely, like I said, it's one of the best. Well, it is the best Mass Effect game, in my opinion. I don't think any of the other Mass Effect games are better than Mass Effect 2. Although Mass Effect 1 will always have a special place in my heart and in my memory because, like I said, it's the first one I played, and it got me kind of into console gaming along with a few other games. I would definitely say Mass Effect 2 is the one that blew me away. And I was like, holy shit, this is so good. And, a lot of people have actually said over the years that my Mass Effect 2 playthrough was one of the first, if not the first playthrough they watched the entire thing from start to finish. That previously they maybe would watch certain snippets of my content or watch a few parts of the first 10 parts of a playthrough, and that was it. But with Mass Effect 2, they got hooked. They wanted to keep watching my playthrough. Okay? Pretty awesome. So here we are 10 years later, and I'm really excited to be playing this game again. One thing I've always said is if I replayed this game, I wanted to do a Renegade playthrough, meaning I make all of the negative choices or, kind of evil dialogue and things rather than being the goody two-shoes. When I usually play these games the first time around, I usually am a goody two-shoes. Kind of a Boy Scout character doing all the right things. And I kind of want to not do that this time around. And I want to see how it goes, okay? I am going to be making an original character this time around. In my first playthrough, I was Phil Shepard, which was supposed to be based kind of like looking like me, which is hilarious because it really didn't. And the character was hideous. And I played him in all 3 of my Mass Effect runs, which is funny. But yeah, I'm going to make a brand new character from the ground up today. See how that goes. Maybe I'll even just randomize some stuff and see how it looks. And go from there, okay? If I remember correctly, the plot line is that you died, and then Cerberus brought you back to life. Cerberus had previously been villains in the first Mass Effect game. They were one of the corporations that you were fighting. But then in this game, you unwittingly kind of become their ally. They're using you as a tool to an end. to fight the Reapers and the Collectors. Yeah. And, of course, here we have the Elusive Man is in this one and everything, which is pretty neat. This should be good. This should be fun. I'm pretty excited for this, okay? So I hope you guys are excited, too. So this is going to be a major playthrough. I am going to be balancing this with my other current playthroughs, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot and Donkey Kong 64 for the next, couple of weeks. Truth of the matter is, this is the perfect time to do it. There is nothing new coming out of any significance until the end of February, okay? So, in this case, this is the perfect time to start it up. I'll get, a good tear into the game before new releases start coming out. Chances are, by the time the new releases start coming out in a couple of weeks, I will have probably finished up both Donkey Kong and Dragon Ball, is what I'm thinking, because with Dragon Ball, we've only got one saga left, and each saga seems to take me maybe 8 to 10 hours to beat, so probably another 2-3 streams, plus the intermission, so maybe 4 streams of that, so another couple weeks. And then we've got, with Donkey Kong 64, I'm currently halfway through stage 5, and the game has 7 stages. You see, if you figure maybe another, 4 streams of that, I'll probably be wrapping those playthroughs up by the end of the month, which is perfect. It means that this game will be the one that'll continue on while I juggle this with other new releases, see? So pretty neat in that regard. I'm pretty excited for that, and I hope you guys are excited for a cool, injection of nostalgia. A game that I've only played once before 10 years ago. What I'm really curious to see, does this game hold up? Because a lot of games that we've played over the years here, they're good games, don't get me wrong, but do they really hold up? You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people say, oh, Donkey Kong 64, dude, is an amazing game. It's so good. And, and then you play it today and you're like, holy shit. The camera's terrible. The controls are terrible. Some of this stuff is so ridiculously difficult. And a kid is supposed to do it, right? Like, 20 years later, the game doesn't really hold up. Will Mass Effect 2 hold up? That's what we're going to see here today, folks. I'm curious to see. Does it hold up? Is it still going to be a really super fun, enjoyable experience like it was the first time I played it? Or not? I don't know. Or we'll find out together. Okay? So I hope you guys are excited. I have no idea how many of you actually used to watch my content 10 years ago. I mean, that was a long effing time ago. And to say, oh, I watched someone consistently for 10 years is probably a tall order in the modern era. I doubt that many of you here on stream today or watching this pre-stream on demand on YouTube have watched me for 10 straight years. That's pretty nuts to expect, okay? But I am excited. I am excited for this, and I hope that you guys are excited too, okay? So good stuff all around, all right? Now, later tonight, it will be the conclusion of Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island. We are in the final world of the game, which I'm going to assume is the hardest world. I mean, you would think so, logically, that it would be the hardest world, right? The game has been quite challenging up to now. Much more challenging than I remember it being from when I was a kid. But then again, I don't think I beat it when I was a kid. I actually think that I played through maybe like the first half, and then I stopped playing it because it was a rental. I never owned it. But playing these last few sessions, holy shit, some of this stuff has been quite challenging, which is fine. I'm up for a challenge, and I'm looking forward to the conclusion tonight. I don't know how the game ends. So we're going to see tonight, how does Super Mario World 2 end? Well, join me tonight on the late stream around 6:45 p.m. Pacific time to find out. Okay? All right, tomorrow, we're going to go back to I almost said Super Mario again. We're going to go back to Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. It's going to be another 4 hours of gameplay in that game. When what we're going to be doing is doing the intermission between the Cell and Boo sagas. I don't know how long it is, but we've been doing some of the side content, and we're about to advance the plot a bit. And then we're going to hopefully head into the Boo saga. I don't know if we'll get into the Boo saga or not tomorrow. We'll see. But it should be fun, especially for those who are fans of Dragon Ball, of course. That's what the game is catered towards and made for. So I hope you'll join me for that tomorrow. And tomorrow night is my weekly Throwback Street Fighter session. Okay? Pretty neat. I love doing this. Last week, it went in particularly well. I got into a couple lobbies where there was good variety of players, and it was a lot of fun. So hopefully we'll have more of that fun tomorrow night. You guys really seem to be digging the Throwback Street Fighter stuff every week. Okay? On Saturday, we will continue back to Donkey Kong 64. We'll continue with that playthrough. And then Saturday night will be some throwback Sega Genesis Mini stuff. All right, so some fun Sega Genesis Mini on Saturday. Last week you had me play Castlevania Bloodlines and beat it. What will you have me play this week? I don't know. We'll find out. It'll be fun. Then on Sunday, more Mass Effect 2. All right, another major stream of Mass Effect 2. And then it'll be Doom 2 Sunday night. Continuing on. Looks like we're going to be heading into the final third of the game on Sunday night. And then on Monday, to end off the streaming week, it will be more Dragon Ball Z Kakarot and my weekly Minecraft chill stream. All right, so good stuff coming up in the next several days, in the next week or whatever. We'll see. You know, hopefully everything goes well and you guys enjoy the streams and everything works out. Fair enough. Alrighty then. So good stuff. And I'll say thank you in advance, because I know many of you will probably be coming out and checking out the streams. This new retro stuff is really cool. I'm looking forward to it. All right, guys. Outside of that, just a couple other things to cover here. First of all, I hope you guys have been enjoying the new animations on the stream. We've been using them for a couple days. You guys really seem to like them. If you don't know what I'm talking about, we have all new animations for your contributions during streams, including every single level of subscription has a specialized animation for it now. We've got 4 different levels of tips that we get animations for now that are really nice. And we've also got 2 special ones for 420. Like if you do a 420-bit share or you tip me $4.20, those are specialized ones as well. So pretty cool. I like the fact that the streams are getting a little bit more elaborate, and we're getting some more fun stuff on the streams instead of just the same thing over and over, which gets a little stale. It's cool to get new things, new artwork, new animations. I should also say thanks to everyone who submitted new fan art recently. As you can see, guys, we have a lot of new fan art here on the pre-streams for certain playthroughs and also just in general, which is really nice. I enjoy it whenever we get new fan art. So pretty cool, and thank you to anyone who submitted new fan art for you know, the current streams. Very nice. I would tell you guys to go nominate stuff for the retrospective event, which is going to happen 1 week from this weekend, but the website's down again. I don't know why. I contacted my webmaster again, and I'm like, you know, it's down again. This is like the second time in 2 weeks. I don't know what's going on with the website. I don't know if it's our server, people that have it down. That's what it was last time. The server was screwed up, or if it's something on our end. I have no idea. I have him checking it out, so I'll have more information. You know, next time. Hopefully by tonight or tomorrow, the website issues will be resolved, and I can tell you guys, please nominate stuff for the retrospective. But I'm not going to do that when right now you can't. Okay. Oh, oops. I Am Razor says, why can't I choose Pokemon for the party? Because I screwed up and I forgot to turn it off last night. So thank you, I Am Razor, for telling me that. I will now turn that off. I must have forgotten to uncheck it. No, you cannot pick Pokemon for my party today. I'm sorry, guys. Squirtle is not a viable party member for the Mass Effect team. Yeah, in fact, yeah, look at this. This is completely screwed up. For some reason, there were 2 different both the choose a Pokemon for the party and pick a fighter for Throwback Street Fighter were enabled. Now, I know I didn't do that. Yeah, I didn't do that. I think what happened is maybe Twitch updated overnight or something and enabled those automatically, because I did not have those enabled. I know for a fact, I thought maybe I'd left the Pokemon one on, but there was no way that I left the Street Fighter one on from last week, so that was completely screwed up. Alright, I just turned those off. So those should not be there now, and I apologize if anyone tried to do it. No, there's no Pokemon and no Street Fighter characters in Mass Effect 2. I don't know what happened here. Hopefully that fixed it, by the way. Let me see here. Hopefully it's fixed now. Yeah, it seems just seems like a Twitch glitch. A Twitch glitch. Alrighty then. And no, sorry, there's no way to refund Penne points. I would gladly give you all free Penne points if I could, but there's no way to do that. Okay, so continuing on, everyone. Let's now get to the gratuitous plugs segment of the stream. Thank you guys very much for 11 awesome years where I've been a content creator. Every day sharing my live gameplay experiences with all of you has been an amazing experience, and I am realizing that I am one of the super lucky people on this planet that gets to do what he loves for a living. I absolutely appreciate the fact that every day you guys come and hang out with me, you have fun with me with games, you support me on the streams. It's a really awesome thing. I'm super lucky, right? I know that. I never used to have a job that I liked until this one, okay? So thank you so much for that. That being said, it certainly has its ups and downs. And now that I'm a full-time streamer, I rely pretty much solely on your contributions during the live streams and able to keep things going and keep things afloat. All right? So please, if you enjoy the fact that I'm here 6 days a week full-time, that I stream, a ton every single day, that I upload all my archive streams over on DSPGaming on YouTube, despite the fact that I get almost nothing out of it because YouTube is falling apart at the seams for someone like me as a content creator, and I get basically nothing out of it. The ad revenue over there is abysmally low compared to what it really should be. I just do it for fan service. That's why I upload those videos over there. So if you appreciate all of that and you want to see all this continue, please consider contributing via one of the following methods that I'm about to outline here on the pre-stream. But before we even get to the methods by which you can contribute, I just want to say this up front, all right? Please understand that contributions are greatly appreciated, but not mandatory, nor are they expected. I consider it going above and beyond the role of a standard stream viewer in order for you to contribute, okay? I don't want anyone to come to the stream and be like, oh, man, I can't really support Phil today, so now I feel like the odd man out, or I feel like, I'm not really helping out, or I don't want you to feel like that. I want you to know that gaming is my hobby as well as my job, that I made YouTube videos for 2.5 years before I ever monetized them on YouTube. In fact, my original Mass Effect 2 playthrough, all right, was not monetized. It was, my gameplay videos were not monetized for me until 2011. And this game was in 2010. So, case in point, if you watch the Mass Effect 2 playthrough back in the day, I didn't monetize anything. And in the modern era today, if I somehow lost my ability to monetize my gameplay streams, I would still continue to stream regardless, in some limited capacity. Obviously, I wouldn't be able to do it full-time anymore, but I would still do it because I love it. I love streaming for you guys, having an audience to interact with and have fun when I play games. I wouldn't give it up for the world if I could. I want to at least do this in some capacity for as long as I can because I love it so much. Okay? So that being said, thank you guys in advance to anyone who does consider contributing and or who contributes during today's stream. That is really awesome of you. Thank you, but understand that it's not mandatory nor expected. All right, so let's talk. First of all, I have a Patreon over at patreon.com/DarksidePhil. Your monthly pledges to my Patreon unlock personal perks as a way of saying thank you. I won't go into detail about it because it's all explained right there on the site. Check it out at patreon.com/DarksidePhil. I have a Teespring store where I sell all kinds of fun merchandise, including t-shirts primarily, but there's also things there like sweatshirts and mugs and stickers and the like. In fact, today I'm actually wearing one of my Teespring shirts. Hold on a second here. Oh, a nice cool customized sub message below me. We'll give a shout out to that person later. But I'm wearing my King of Retro anniversary shirt. That's right, King of Retro. I figured kind of apropos to wear this today, because we're doing a retro playthrough, a 10-year anniversary playthrough, right? This is just one of many designs. By the way, this shirt is available in many colors and designs, but many designs over there available for different things. Go give it a look. Anything you get from my Teespring, you get a cool collectible, helps me out, so it's win-win, okay? I can also attest to the quality of these shirts. Like this shirt I've owned for almost 2 years now. They don't really wear out. They pretty much last a long-ass time, so. Okay, so thanks. It's teespring.com/stores/DSPGaming, by the way. Okay, so there you go. If you're here live on the stream, all right, chances are you're probably going to want to get, let me rephrase. You're probably going to want to contribute in a way that you can get noticed and get recognition for your contribution during the live stream, right? I mean, it makes sense. If you're here, you probably want to interact with me a little bit, have a good time. So you can do that if you either cheer with bits or you subscribe to my channel or you tip me during today's live stream. Any of those things, you'll get a live shout out for your contribution. Now, please understand, please understand that, I will give a shout out as long as you abide by the rules and regulations of the stream. If you're saying something insulting in your message or you're derailing the stream with a giant paragraph of stuff, I'm not going to read all that stuff. But in general, most people get it. We get cool interactions and have some fun conversation during the streams, and it works out well, okay? Now, if you look at the top of your screens, you'll see there's a stream stats leaderboard. I update this periodically over the course of a stream with things such as the top tipper and top cheerer of said stream. It's another great way for you to get recognized. And in addition to that, there's actually built-in leaderboards. They're integrated into Twitch themselves, and those track things such as the top cheerer of the week, top cheerers of the week, I should say, and the top tipper, the top sub-gifter of the week is what I meant to say. People who gift subscriptions, okay? Pretty nice. Oh, by the way, I should mention this. I got a message about this from Twitch yesterday. If you watch my streams on an iOS device, meaning an Apple device, as of today, apparently you can now gift subs. Apparently it was never available before on an iOS viewing device, but apparently now you can gift subscriptions during a live stream if you're doing that, okay? So there you go. Awesome. All right. So pretty cool. Many ways to contribute. And you might say, well, that's great, Phil. That's quite a lot of ways to contribute, but what's the best way to contribute? Right now, the best way to contribute is by tipping me. All right? I still don't get paid by Twitch for another 2 days at the earliest. I may even have to wait for processing time for the payment to come through. Problem with that being, right now, I have bills clearing. I know for a fact that my utilities are coming up, and my internet bill is coming up. And they bill at different times, which sucks. I wish they billed on the same day every month. They don't. Sometimes my internet gets charged like today, the 13th, and then other times it doesn't get billed till like the 16th. So tips right now help me more than anything, because when you tip me, I get that right away. And all the tips you guys have been giving me over the past 2 weeks, I put directly into the bank account to clear bills, and it's been helping tremendously, okay? I'll have a little bit of alleviation when I finally get my payment from Twitch around the 15th. But for now, if you tip me, that helps me more than any other contribution method, so please tip me today if you can. If you can't, that's perfectly fine. I'm not looking to gift horse in the mouth or anything. If you want to cheer or sub or anything else, that's all much appreciated, but I'm just saying that cheering would help me more, tipping would help me more than anything else right now, because I get that immediately, while everything else has a little bit of a downtime or processing time before I see any positive benefit. Okay? Good stuff? All right. A little bit about tipping. How do you tip? If you look below the stream, there's a tip jar button there that you can click, or you can type !tip into the stream chat. Either way, it'll take you to my PayPal tips page, where you can either, I should have said it this way. On the PayPal tips page, you can either use a PayPal account to contribute, or if you don't have a PayPal account, which is fine, you could actually tip me just using a debit or credit card, much like you would make any other payment on the internet. However, that option may not readily be available immediately because it only loads on the full desktop version of the site, and if you're watching it on a mobile device, it might not pop up. So what you need to do is load the full desktop version of the site on your phone or device, or go to a desktop computer, and that should be available to you. All right, sorry that's a little bit more annoying than it should be there. Well, maybe one day they'll actually fix it. So, thank you to anyone considering tipping me today. I very much appreciate it. One thing that I want to say up front, all right, if you're going to contribute to any live streamer on the internet, please, guys, do your best to protect yourselves and hide your identity and make sure your information is safe. Allow me to explain what I mean. In the modern era here of 2020, we have so much information that's all over the internet, we don't even realize it. Just think about all the different social media that you probably use, whether Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, etc. And I guarantee you, there's probably information there that's private information about you. Where you work, where you hang out, your family members, your friends. It's all public. And people can use that information against you just to mess with you. And before you even say, oh, well, why would someone mess with me? I'm no one. I don't understand why anyone would do that. Just because they can. These are messed up people who feel that they get some kind of pleasure out of just messing with someone anonymously on the internet and knowing that they basically fucked around with them. That's enough for them to get their jollies off, okay? So in particular, if you're considering contributing to my live stream today in any way, but in particular if you're tipping me, for example, you may want to look for a way to protect your identity so that people cannot come after you and try to harass you for it. So for example, if you're going to tip me today, you can either choose to say, oh, anonymous tip, and no one will know it's you because it's just anonymous. Or you could completely fabricate and make up a name that has nothing to do with you whatsoever, and therefore no one would know that it's you, okay? I strongly recommend doing so, all right? I just want to say I'm looking out for you guys. I want to make sure that no one ends up getting harassed or whatever on the internet after a contribution during a stream. You certainly don't deserve that. So please look out for yourselves. Okay? Fair enough? All right. Moving on. Let's talk about the stream rules. All right? So, first of all, I have to abide by all the rules and regulations of Twitch.tv. That's just because I'm using their business to stream, and therefore, please understand I can't just say and do whatever I want on my streams. All right? But in addition to that, I have my own rule set that I follow. I have my own mentality when I live stream, and allow me to explain what that is. I want my streams to feel like a place where you can relax. You can escape all the stresses of your everyday real life, to come here and just kind of chill out, have a good time watching me play some fun games, seeing my live reactions to whatever those games are, interacting with some stream viewers. In general, just having a good time, right? The last thing I want is for you to come over here, excuse me, and immediately get inundated with drama, with arguments, with toxic stuff, with nasty crap, all right? So, truth of the matter is, I just want everyone to relax. And I feel that there's a couple things that if we enforce on the streams, it'll allow people to relax a lot more. The first is that I don't allow politics and religion to be topics in my stream chat. The reason being is very simple. Politics and religion are very, very, I would say, controversial and or divisive subjects where when you talk about them, a lot of people just can't see from another person's perspective or agree to disagree. Instead, it's kind of like, well, if you don't agree with me, that's it. We got to argue. We got to insult each other. We got to get into fights. And I don't want that on my stream. Truth of the matter is, probably most of you hear about these topics and you realize anyway, you're probably coming to the stream to relax and not have to be inundated with more of this crap. So I don't want my whole stream to be like that, and I find that when we talk about that, the stream gets derailed. People will stop paying attention to the stream and start arguing with each other, and I don't want that, all right? Now, if I'm playing a game that has either political or religious associations or topics in it, that's different. If we're talking something that's actually in relation to the subject matter of a stream, that's perfectly fine, and yes, that is allowed. But in general, just in general, bringing those topics up is not allowed in the stream chat, okay? Now, in addition to that, I am well aware there are tons of people out there on the internet that on a daily basis love to try to make fun of me, attack me, rip me a new butthole, defame me, slander me, lie about me and my family members constantly in order to create drama so that they get popularity. They don't care about the fact that it negatively affects me and my family. Instead, they just care about getting positive attention for themselves. Whether it's toxic or not, whether it's dramatic garbage or not, whether it's even true or not, they don't give a shit. All they want to do is spin conspiracy theories so that they can get popular. All right? I don't give a shit about those people. I don't want to waste time on those people. I know they exist. There's nothing I could do about it. I can't sue them all for defamation, which I would win, but I don't have the time or resources to do that. I'm a positive content creator. I'm here to put out fun new content for you guys on a daily basis. In particular, today is a pretty awesome day for me, being able to play Mass Effect 2 again for the second time ever only, right? A 10-year anniversary event. This is something special for me. This is something that I don't want to get derailed by complete nonsense and drama and bullshit and horse shit. So please understand that. Please understand it's not allowed. If you come in here trying to derail stuff, you're out of here. In particular, yesterday we had someone who, just constantly is doing that kind of crap, brings up drama, and boom, banned, you're done. I'm sorry, I gave you this guy a million chances. He knew what's allowed and what's not. He broke the rules. He's out of here for good, and that's how it works. Please understand that, I'm not going to allow my content and my business to be derailed by a bunch of stupid kiddie shit and drama that teenagers like. That's not what we're here for. We're here to have fun with games and relax, okay? So please understand that, and please abide by the rules. The moderators will also be taking a look, not only me, but the moderators as well, to make sure everything is enforced, so please understand that. Okay, guys? Okay. So that's it for the plugs. It's now time for shoutouts. This is where we go and give shoutouts to everyone who's contributed. We start updating the leaderboards, etc. And then we get started with gameplay, all right? So first of all, overnight, Tantamouter did a 100-bit cheer. Thank you very much, Tantamouter, for the 100-bit cheer. I really do appreciate that. So thank you very much. Honest Fan resubscribed for 4 months in a row. He says, it's been 4 months with the new playthrough of ME2. Will we get a new version of Thugs on the Floor? It's funny you bring that up. Thugs on the Floor, which is a staple of my pre-stream remixes and stuff that I played during commercial breaks, was the very first remix ever done on the internet in regards to me and my content. And it was done back in 2009. That's right, 11 years ago. Thugs on the Floor came out. The story behind Thugs on the Floor is as follows. All right, I was doing a playthrough of Mass Effect 1 for my YouTube channel before Mass Effect 2 came out. Okay, Mass Effect 1 I had played before. As I told you, I loved this game. It had got me back into console gaming, and so I wanted to do a playthrough of this for YouTube once I started up making YouTube videos. And the night before I was playing Mass Effect that day, I watched American Idol. Yeah, I used to actually watch American Idol back in the day. I certainly don't anymore, but I used to. And on that particular show, there was an older gentleman who obviously was not a good singer, but sometimes they have these comic relief segments. And he basically came in and started singing for the judges, pants on the ground. They got the pants on the ground. You know, moving all around with their pants on the ground. And what he was doing was making fun of the youth of the time who liked to wear hanging, sagging pants that would be like loose and fall down to like their knees. Now, you know, do you really want to see some dumb shit's underwear when they're walking around? Of course not. So he hated that, and he went in and he made fun of them, the Pants on the Ground song. So that day afterward, I started playing Mass Effect, and I'm like, oh, thugs on the floor. We got the thugs on the floor. Shoot them in the face because they're on the fucking floor. Right? So I make these comments during the playthrough, and it caught on. Right? And if you remember back then, it was Ghost Drone was the person on YouTube who was a big fan of mine, and he would take my gameplay through commentary and he would edit it to be music remixes. And this was the very first one he ever did, and it caught on virally. Like, it was getting tens of thousands of views within like a week. And back then, that was unheard of, that you would just do a music remix of someone's random gameplay and it would get that kind of views. Now, over time, it got more and more and more views. But at the time, it was pretty popular. And back then, there was the ability to highlight other people's videos on your YouTube channel. And of course, my YouTube channel was very popular. So I highlighted this video, and it just got even more popular because of it. And it actually got so popular that Ghost Drone said, man, you know, this is pretty cool. I want to make more remixes now. And he did. He ended up doing so many different remixes for like a 2 to 3 year period there for all of my playthroughs. That got a lot of popularity on YouTube, which was really neat. Okay? So that's the story of Thugs on the Floor. Will we have a new Thugs on the Floor? I don't think so. At this point, you know, I just do my commentary, and not many people really do anything in regards to remixes or anything like that anymore. In fact, it's been a long time since anyone did a new one. But, you know, it was funny because when I played Mass Effect 2, Ghost Drone went back and did another remix, and this one was Bugs in the Air. It was Thugs on the Floor and the Bugs in the Air flying everywhere, right? All right, let's continue on. So, by the way, thank you, Honest Fan. You're the first cheerer of the day here. I should actually get you up on the leaderboard. I forgot to put you up on the leaderboard. Boy, I'm what an inconsiderate jerk I am that I didn't put you on the leaderboard. Thank you, sir. PW Dubs tipped me $1.30 and says, can you play as female Shepard and romance Jacob Taylor in Mass Effect 2? You know, originally I was going to do Fem Shep, but I don't know what it is. I just felt like, I felt like if I'm going to do a true 10-year anniversary run in the game, see, this isn't like a gimmick run where, oh, I just played the game, but now I'm doing a second run. And, and my second run is going to be Renegade FemShep. This is like a 10th anniversary playthrough now. It's kind of like more significant for me. And so I kind of talked myself out of the FemShep. I'm still going to do Renegade choices, but I kind of talked myself out of the FemShep. I think I'm just going to do another male character, but I want to make a new one. Like, I want to like design a new character. Maybe even try to make him look evil. You know, like make him look like a sinister character. Like he has insidious thoughts all the time or something. We'll have to see what I can come up with the character creator, because, you know, there's a 10-year-old character creator. I'm not sure what's available there. But yeah, I kind of was like, yeah, I think I'm just going to go, I want to do with the male shepherd again. So yeah, you know, we're not doing FemShep. We are not doing FemShep. Sorry. Sick Tor, subscribe to the channel. Thank you, Sick Tor, for the subscription. I appreciate that. Rob, what's going on, Rob? He tipped me $5. He says, no, not Cortez. Well, Rob, I'll have you know, first of all, the good news is Cortez does not exist in Mass Effect 2, or at least not to my knowledge. He doesn't become a major character until Mass Effect 3. And So that shouldn't affect anything. Thank you very much for the $5 tip, Rob, and getting the tipping going today. I appreciate that. Venom Symbiote resubscribed for 21 months. He says, Phil, how do you think that they're going to make Bloodborne? Oh, do you think they will make Bloodborne 2 for the PlayStation 5? I think it's the best Souls game and my favorite game. Well, here's the thing. PlayStation 5 supposedly is coming out later this year. That's what we've been told. Doesn't necessarily mean it's true yet because there's been no official announcement or anything from Sony yet. But what I would say is it would be a hard sell to only make it for PS5. And the reason I say that is so many people have PS4s, okay? That's an installed gamer base right there. That if they release Bloodborne 2, they know they're going to sell a ridiculous amount of copies, being that Bloodborne 1 was only on PlayStation 4, right? So you've got so many people who you know guaranteed sales. To make it a PS5 exclusive, I think would basically be throwing money away. From a business perspective purely, I think that making it a PS5 exclusive would be really missing out on a lot of opportunity for profit, okay? Now, I'm not saying that they won't do it. I'm just saying, for me, maybe it'll be cross-platform, or maybe they'll just do PS4. You know, the thing is, we don't really know when Bloodborne 2 is coming out. We've had zero information, right? From Software's been very, very tight-lipped on this. They only gave us a very little hint about Elden Ring at last E3, and we have no idea what we're going to find out about From Software stuff this E3. So, I really do not believe, that there's going to be a PS5 exclusive for Bloodborne 2. I could be completely wrong. Maybe they're going so crazy with this game that they absolutely only want to do it on the next gen to get maximum graphical output or something. I don't know. But I feel that this game will be either be cross-platform, okay, or it's going to end up being PS4. That's my thoughts. I don't think they're going to be doing I really don't think they're going to be doing it as just PS5. But I could be wrong. Okay? That's my take. All right. Rob Rex 7 tipped me $1 and said, my bad about yesterday. Can I be unbanned because you'd like to chat about Mass Effect 2? All right. I'm going to give Rob Rex the benefit of the doubt. I've given Rob Rex the benefit of the doubt, everybody. So let's see how he behaves today. And like I said last night, he's on very thin ice. If he says or does anything, you know, against the rules, that's it. He's out of here. All right, but I'm going to give Rob Rex another chance. Fair enough? Okay. Let's see here. Austin Alexander 11 resubscribed for 3 months in a row, 4 months total. Thank you very much, Austin Alexander, for the support. And he says, I don't understand why Twitch mobile sucks so much. Even the streams on mobile, they're around 10 seconds more delayed compared to being used on a computer. Oh, I would know. I don't really use the mobile at all. At one point I did, but then they disabled chat rooms. So without, you know, like the only chat that exists is the public one. You know, I used to have different ways to communicate with my mods, and once they did away with their private chat rooms, that was it. Like, there's no reason for me to use mobile ever. Okay. So, yeah, I don't know. I wish I would. Austin Alexander, I hear ya. I always feel that the mobile versions of anything is usually pathetic. Like, I'll give you a perfect example here. YouTube has a million versions for every kind of mobile device, and for TVs and for DVD players. There's an app of YouTube for everything. I'm not even exaggerating. Until maybe like the last year. Now, keep in mind, these mobile things have existed for a million years now. Until the last year, they never worked. You would go to watch a video, and the video would always desync. So you'd watch 2 videos, and the second video, the audio is all not synced with what you're watching. And you're like, what the fuck's going on here? And it was always like that. They did something finally in like the last year that it finally works. It's like, gee, you changed your whole site multiple times to claim that you wanted maximum compatibility with mobile, and only now you finally made it so that it actually works with mobile. You know, so that it's worth using. It's so stupid. So in regards to, Twitch, I'm sure there's a ton of shortcomings in the mobile version. Sorry about that. Maybe they will improve it. In fact, I would go as far to say they probably will improve it over time. But yeah, I hear you. I've had the same issues with you with mobile versions of things before, and they're pretty underwhelming. Let's put it that way. Okay. All right. Continuing on. PW Dubs took me $1.30. He says, I have a conspiracy theory I'm trying to debunk in my head. You're the one who made This Is How You Don't Play and created it for more exposure. No, that's not true at all. I mean, I could sit here and give you the full story of how This Is How You Don't Play started and all that, but I'm not going to do that. Because I don't want to talk about negative shit. I'd rather focus on positive stuff today, especially today's special anniversary playthrough, right? But no, I had nothing to do with it. Let's see here. The God tipped me $1.69 and says, my son, did you forget you said you were going to do a negative FemShep or a Renegade FemShep run? So, no, I'm not doing a Renegade FemShep run. I talked for years about it. I said, now keep in mind, this was like 5-6 years ago when I said I wanted to go back to Mass Effect 2. I said I would do a Renegade FemShep run because that way it makes it different from the first playthrough, because I had played the game only a few years previously, right? Now, keep in mind, a lot has changed since then. We've had Mass Effect Andromeda. We've had many other playthroughs, and now it's 10 freaking years since I played the game. So I'd like to do another run without a Renegade FemShep. I'm just going to do a Renegade run with a character that I designed today, okay? Chicken Breast tipped me $3. Said, to be full Renegade, you should just constantly insult everyone on the ship and crew and have no romance other than yourself. I don't know if that's an option, to just insult everyone constantly, because I've never done a Renegade run in this game. If you remember, I've done Renegade runs in the first Mass Effect. In reality, it changes some dialogue options, but it doesn't really change that much, quite frankly. From what I'm to understand, in Mass Effect 2, the Renegade stuff does change a lot. Especially when it comes to certain side quests and stuff, how you complete them can be completely changed depending on if you're doing Paragon or Renegade. So that's one of the main reasons why I'm doing this, to see what are the significant differences, right, from being the goody two-shoes or being, a pain in the ass. So I'm curious to see that. That's why I'm doing it. So, yeah, I mean, hey, if there's dialogue options that basically insult everyone, I'm going to try them. I'm going to see what happens. I'm curious to see how that goes. I doubt anyone's going to quit the party, right? Like, if you recruit a team member, I know they're going to be like, oh, I'm angry at you, I'm quitting the party or whatever. But I'm curious how it's going to go. Well, I guess we're going to find out, okay? All right. Lego Mario tipped me $1. And he says the following. Hold on, let me get this added. He says, not sure if you heard this, but the legendary actor Rick Moranis is returning to film with a reboot of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, starring Josh Gad and his son as his son. Crap. Excuse me. The film will be called Daddy, I Shrunk the Kids, and will mark over 20 years since we last saw Rick Moranis. Yeah, I talked about this yesterday. So the last time Rick Moranis was in film, there's differing accounts. One person says 1994, another says 1996. But it was basically the mid-90s was the last film that Rick Moranis was in. And the last film he actually was in, not physically, but in voice, was Brother Bear in 2003. So it's been a long time since Rick Moranis has been in anything. But being that Honey, I Shrunk the Kids was like his franchise back in the day, he's decided to come back for this new version of it that I believe they're making for Disney Plus. I'm not sure if it's Disney Plus or not. I heard that it's definitely Disney, but I don't know if it's Disney Plus or not. But, I mean, that's cool. Rick Moranis in the 90s and 80s was awesome. You know, first of all, he was part of the Strange Brew crew, which was a comedy act that he did. I forget which Canadian show it was that he was on. And then he ended up going on to be in many different movies. If you remember, Ghostbusters, the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids franchise, Spaceballs, right? He was very, very funny actor. Then, sadly, he had personal family issues going on. I believe his wife got very sick. And because of that, he basically kind of just completely shut himself off from showbiz. Basically said, I made my money. I did what I did. My personal family life is way more important to me than this. And he walked away from it. Was it SCTV? Is that what it was called? The Strange Brew? Yeah. That was a Canadian comedy show, right? I never saw it, but I knew about it. So anyway, yeah, he hasn't done anything in a million years, so it's going to be pretty cool for him to be in something again. I guess we'll see how it goes. He'll probably be like the grandpa, right? He'll be Grandpa Moranis. Of course, I don't know what the character's name is from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, but that'll be pretty neat. All right, Homeless Gamer, Timmy, $2 says, can you play on veteran difficulty? Normal is piss easy. Veteran is actually how the game is meant to be played. I've not played, first of all, I haven't played Mass Effect since Andromeda. And that was, 3 years ago? I haven't played Mass Effect 2 in 10 years. All right? I don't think I need to be doing insane difficulty runs. I'm just saying, especially the other thing is, we already know this game is incredibly long, and we know that the game is going to be time-consuming. And I want to be able to basically play through the game and beat it within roughly a month. That's kind of the time frame I'm giving it. Because in roughly a month is when a lot of new releases are starting to hit. It's actually going to be early to mid-March that a bunch of new releases are going to start to hit. And I don't want this to end up being a lingering playthrough that we didn't finish and takes forever to finish because now I'm playing new releases. So I am not going to be doing a hard difficulty run. I'm doing standard because I want to be able to get through the game in a reasonable amount of time. If you don't like that, I'm sorry. If we had more time, I would do a harder difficulty run, but I don't want to massively extend the length of the playthrough for the few people who want to see me basically smash my balls with a cactus constantly. If you want to see that, go watch my From Software playthroughs. There's plenty of suffering over there to be watched. I'm not turning Mass Effect into that. Okay? Okay, but thank you, Homeless Gamer, for the $2 tip. Let me go ahead and update this. There we go. All right, Miranda's Perfect Bum tipped me $1. Says, have you ever witnessed perfection? Hilarious. No. I don't think anything's perfect. I don't think anyone is perfect. I think that's kind of the human condition, is that you realize there's no such thing as perfection and that we are all mortal and we are all fallible and we all have room for improvement, right? So there you go. Thank you for the $1 tip. Honest Fan Cheers, any advice to fix a bad case of hot hole? It burns after the Taco Bell buffet. First of all, where the hell did you go to get a Taco Bell buffet? Because I never heard of that. Second of all, Taco Bell food is not spicy. So I don't know what you ate at Taco Bell that was spicy. Taco Bell food is incredibly bland and mild, really, because they don't want to have customers who complain that things are too spicy. If anything, if you want Taco Bell food to be spicy, you have to get a lot of their, like fire sauce or whatever it's called. And you have to like pour that shit on there and soak it in this spicy sauce to get any kind of flavor out of it. Because most Taco Bell food is not spicy at all. So I'm not sure where you went. But anyway, man, I don't know, wet wipes. Go get yourself some wet wipes. All right, you can get those at any supermarket or Bed Bath and Beyond has them. You can go wipe your bum with some aloe vera. Wipe the bum with it, and maybe that'll soothe the burning anus ring. Okay. Very nice. Snow Carl tipped me $1, asking, will I give someone who got banned a second chance? Hey, that's at my discretion if I do, and it's none of your business to be asking about it. So, don't. But thank you for the $1 tip. E.T. Bracket News did a 100-bit cheer. That's actually the biggest cheer of the day. He says, new fan here. I really enjoyed your Final Fantasy VI playthrough. Well, thank you very much. That was a really cool playthrough for me, because Final Fantasy VI, Final Fantasy VI is my favorite Final Fantasy game of all time, and to be able to go back and replay that game the way that I did it at length, allowed me to not only reminisce a lot about my childhood of gaming and everything, but also to kind of do more of a walkthrough than a playthrough. I killed all the optional dragons. I did all the optional side content that was available in the game, which was really neat. So I really enjoyed doing that. I'm glad that you watched that, and I'm glad that you appreciated it and you enjoyed it, because it actually is something that means a little bit more to me than just a standard playthrough. I'll be honest, today is kind of the same deal. The 10-year anniversary of Mass Effect 2. This is pretty cool to me as well. I'm looking forward to today, so, awesome. Thank you for the support and the nice positive message. All right, it is time for shout-outs for those who are the top cheerers of the week. Thank you very much to the top cheerers of this week so far. And tie for 9th place. It would have been 10th place, but there's a tie for 9th between Tomahawk MCX and Dr. Jeezy. In 8th place, we got Mr. Papavera. 7th place, Spartan King. 6th place, Junior Mint 007. Actually, it's a tie between Junior Mint and Delancius for 5th place. I apologize there. 4th place, Chunky Jack. 3rd place, Snake Eater. 2nd place this week is Akio Artorias. And 1st place, with a bunch of very generous cheers yesterday, I believe it was, Wee Wiz. So thank you very much, Wee Wiz, for those generous cheers. Also, some subscriptions that were gifted this week. We've got Philly Buckeye and Alfred Aponte, who each gifted a single subscription to the channel. And then we've got Snake Eater, who gifted 2 subscriptions to the channel so far this week. So thank you guys very much for your support in that regard as well. Okay. So that is it, guys, for pre-stream. What we will do... Oh, wait a minute. I just received a $1 tip from Wrigley Grizzly. And Wrigley Grizzly says, are you going to import an ME1 save if you have any? Do you have any DLC installed? Well, good questions. First of all, no, I can't import any Mass Effect 1 saves because I'm playing this on Xbox One. I'm playing it upscaled. You know, they have the upscaled version of Xbox 360 games on Xbox One. So, because of that, you can't import because there's no way to import a file from the 360 to the Xbox One. So, that's not going to happen. Okay? Sadly, that's not going to happen. But, actually, did I skip a tip here? Wait a minute here. I'm going to answer your question, Wrigley Giggly. I apologize. I think I skipped something. I did. So the Donald, I'm sorry I skipped your tip from earlier. The Donald had tipped me $1 earlier and said, if that guy from last night charges back, will I get to name a Pokemon? So the Donald was 2nd place last night with contributions on my Pokemon stream. Yes, if that guy charges back, you absolutely will be able to name the Pokemon. However, FYI, right now that has not happened. Okay, so just to not to get your hopes up, the guy has not charged back. I hope he doesn't, because the guy, you know, contributed a bunch of tips. So hopefully he does not. But yeah, if there's ever a chargeback, I would let you guys know what's going on. And I have, if like, for example, if I have a stream where there's a competition, top contributor gets something. If there's a chargeback or whatever for some asshole, I would obviously notify the 2nd place person. Okay. All right, getting back to the subject. First of all, no, I'm not importing any save. That's fine, quite frankly. Now that we know that there's almost zero impact from the game saves that carried over anyway, if you remember, that was one of the major complaints everyone had about Mass Effect 3, is that we were supposed to be having carrying rolling game saves from Mass Effect 1 and 2, and that Mass Effect 3 would eventually have a big payoff. It did not. It was complete horseshit. We were lied to, basically. So, that was disappointing. One of the major complaints people had about Mass Effect 3. There's really no reason to have a save roll over, especially because this is a 10th anniversary run. Who remembers my original runs in Mass Effect 1? Probably nobody. So, we're just going to do it fresh as if it's a brand new game. And if they ask us for choices of things, we can make choices, critical choices on the intro or not. We'll see. Okay? As for DLCs, there's only 2 DLCs that were available on Xbox One. One was called The Arrival, and I think that was the pre-order DLC. I'm almost positive that was the pre-order DLC you got. It was called The Arrival, I think. So if that's the case, I have that one. And I have another one that's called Genesis. Now, I don't know what that one is, but it was like $3, so I got it. Those are the only 2 DLCs available for this thing on the Xbox One. No others are listed or available for download. So I basically got what's available on the Xbox One, and that's what's going to be in the game. I don't know what else is available or what I'm missing because I don't remember. It's 10 years ago, right? So that's the only 2 that were on there. I know there's more than that. For example, I remember there was one called Lair of the Shadow Broker. That was the one where you're trying to figure out who the mysterious Shadow Broker is. And there's a whole big side quest that you have to do, and at the end you find out it's Liara from Mass Effect 1. And you're like, oh, what a twist. You didn't expect that. But that's not in there. I don't know why. It's just not there. Those are the only things. When you search for Mass Effect 2, those are the only things that come up. Those 3 things on Xbox One. So that's what we've got. That's what I'm playing. Okay? So there you go. Okay. The Donald tipped me $1 and said, would you consider playing the new Metro Exodus DLC Sam story? You get to go to California in Metro. I didn't even know that existed. I definitely liked Metro Exodus last year. I thought it was one of the best games of 2019. At this point, I don't know if I would play the DLC. I had no idea it even came out. Apparently, I had zero hoopla or press because I didn't know anything about it at all. And no one, until right now, no one even told me about it except you. At this point, I'm pretty booked. Like, I'm in the midst of 3 very lengthy playthroughs with Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, Donkey Kong 64, and now Mass Effect 2. Like I said, I want to try to get through some of these because at the end of the month, there's a couple new games I want to play. I don't really think there's going to be much interest for that DLC. So I guess we'll see. But right now, my answer is probably not in the short term. Okay. Mature Adult did 104-bit cheer and said got the all clear, so it looks like I'll be heading home soon. I don't need to read the rest of this. It's disgusting. But thank you very much for the 104-bit cheer. You're actually the top cheerer of the day. I'll get you up on the leaderboard here. SPB Original actually asked, am I going to play Animal Crossing? Yes. I said this many times that Animal Crossing looks like it's going to be a new kind of chill and fun playthrough for me. I've never played an Animal Crossing game before, but my wife has been playing the Animal Crossing mobile game and really, really likes it. And says that she definitely thinks I should play the full version of the game coming out because I'll probably like it too. It's very relaxing for what I'm to understand. So, yes, I will be playing Animal Crossing. Okay? All right, guys, so here's what we're going to do. Let's take a very brief break. I'm going to go use the restroom quickly. And then I'm going to come back, and we're going to start her up. Mass Effect 2, the 10th anniversary Renegade run. We're going to make our character, and we're going to get started here. We're going to see how it goes. Again, after 10 years of not playing the game, number 1, I don't know how much of it I'm going to remember. Number 2, I don't know if it's going to hold up. You know, this game was amazing 10 years ago. But will it actually hold up here? I don't know. All right. Eternal Napalm asks, am I going to play Grand Blue Fantasy Versus? Maybe. A lot of people seem to be asking me to play it now. I guess it's going to be a game that's going to have a robust story mode as well as a competitive multiplayer mode. I believe it comes out in early March. So I may check it out. We'll see. It's definitely on my radar now because a lot of people have been bringing it up. So I'll consider it. If you guys want to see that fighting game with a good story, but also, you know, online multiplayer as well, maybe I'll check it out. Okay. All right, guys. Break time. I'll be right back in a few minutes with the premiere of Mass Effect 2. Thanks. See you in a second.